Today is July 27th, 2025. This would be the Klamath River. I'm right up above Jenny Creek, kind of noticing a cool phenomenon here. You can see the water is flowing down and you can see it circling back around on the bank. And I know that this can be common in areas, and it's doing it right here too. Definitely seeing a lot of bubbles on the water today, that white foamy stuff. So I'm gonna pause it and I'm gonna walk up the road just a little bit. So I just kind of walked over here, kind of on the bluff where I can see. This is where it's kind of circling around what I was just looking at. This is what it's looking like upstream of the Klamath River. Up and around that bend a little bit would be where we start getting closer to the Narrows, the Iron Gate Narrows. So we come up the Klamath River a little bit. That is that old rock formation that was submerged underneath the lake. A lot of rock formations. Some of the trees that you see in here are from when they did the high flows this winter, from both the release and the flooding that we had. And this would be the Iron Gate Narrows. And some of you that might be tuning into my newer videos, this is where the train trestle used to be before they built the dams. The train used to cross right here, and you can kind of still see the track or where it used to go along the bottom. You can start to see some more of the rock bars starting to appear. And as you look up that direction, on up that way and up and around the bend is where you start getting towards Fall Creek. I always thought that the rock formations here were so cool to look at. There's just a lot of cool rock formations that have been formed by the lava flows from years past. I'll kind of zoom over to where some other ones are. This is another set of those cool looking rocks. So anyways, that's what it's looking like right here. So I just came up the road just a little bit, and this is right at the Narrows, those cliff bluffs that I was looking at. Right over there is kind of where the train went across. You can't really see the trestle from here. But you can kind of see from up here, you can kind of see in the water a little bit right there in that more shallow area. You can see the bottom. You can see how it benches down and drops off a little bit right here.
That breeze is nice.
So we're right above the bluffs. I'm not passing the fence that says no trespassing here. So we were just looking up the direction. This would be kind of like the Iron Gate Narrows. And that used to be part of the train trestle. And that would be looking up the Klamath River. So I just come down the road just a little bit. That's that bluff that I was just looking off of up there at the fence. So that's looking down the Klamath River. And that would be the train trestle where it used to go across. And this is looking up the Klamath River, and when I'm here, I can see something in the water, but I can't tell what it is. It doesn't exactly look like a rock. It could be, but it's just got kind of a weird shape for a rock. Anyways, that's what it's looking like in this section. So I got some binoculars out. I had to pause and look, and that is just a rock. It's a pretty smooth rock, but that is just a rock. So I'm up above the Narrows right now. This would be where Iron Gate also used to be. This is where the lake kind of ended before it would go into Fall Creek, up in that canyon kind of right there. It's definitely a little rapid through here. I'm still trying to figure out this rock formation that I always keep seeing. I don't know if that could have been part of a former bridge, or it's hard to say really. There's kind of a lot of rocks right here in this area that are built up. As you look at where the lake used to be, you can see a lot of that ground is still cracked. All this that they tried to plant, it didn't really take. Not in that section anyways. And the lake shore used to be up there. But I haven't really videoed this area in a while, so I thought I would shoot some of this area so you guys could see kind of what it's looking like now. This morning it was flowing at 933 CFS. I'm not sure what the water temps are today. And the Fall Creek gauge is up and around that bend. It appears to be working lately. This stretch of the river's been hitting 75. I should say 75 at its warmest, and then it'll cool down to 70, 69 at night at its coolest. So anyways, this is what this part of the river is looking like. So I'm off to my next stop.